My friend, I need to speak to you from my heart. I need to tell you a story that began in a silence so deep. I thought it would be my home forever. This is not just a story about learning English. This is a story about finding a voice that was buried under mountains of fear and doubt. It's about the journey from poverty, not just of money, but of hope, of opportunity, of connection to a life of richness I could have never imagined. If you have ever felt trapped in your own silence, if you have ever looked at the English language as a beautiful, terrifying fortress you can never enter, then this story is for you. Let me take you back to where it all began. My childhood was painted in shades of grey. Not because there was no love, there was so much love in my home, but because the world felt small and the future felt predetermined. We lived in a small house where the walls were thin and dreams had to be whispered. My parents worked tirelessly, their hands rough, their bodies tired by evening. They gave me everything they could, which was an education and the stern, hopeful instruction: learn, study, make it better. English was a subject in school. It was a list of grammar rules written in chalk on a green board. It was a series of red marks on a test paper. It was a sound from an old radio, crackling with the voices of people who lived in a world of color. A world that felt as distant and unreachable as the moon. I could decode it. I could memorize verbs and vocabulary, but it had no heartbeat. It was a skeleton of a language with no flesh, no spirit. It was not a tool for me. It was a barrier. It was the clear, polished window through which I could see a vibrant world. While I stood on the outside, in the quiet and the cold, the feeling of being poor goes beyond money. It is a feeling of scarcity that seeps into your soul. It's the feeling that you don't have enough to offer, that your words, your ideas, your very self are not sufficient. When you add a language barrier to that feeling, it becomes a prison. I remember being a teenager and meeting a group of foreign tourists. They were lost, looking for the old market. They asked me for directions. In simple, clear English, I understood every word. A map unfolded in my mind. I knew exactly how to guide them. I could see the turns, the landmarks. But my mouth? My mouth was a stone. My tongue was heavy. A flush of heat went from my chest to my face. All I could manage was a nervous point and a mumbled, "That way." They smiled, thanked me, and walked off. I stood there, watching them go, feeling a hollow shame inside. I had the knowledge. I had the desire to help. But I had no voice. That moment, that small, everyday failure, became a symbol of my entire life. I was on the outside. I was a ghost in my own life, watching interactions happen around me, unable to step in and participate. The poverty was in my inability to connect, to reach out, to belong to the larger conversation of the world. So, I did what I think many of you have done. I retreated into the world of passive learning. I thought, if I just understand more, then I will be able to speak. The first became a collector of English. I collected movies. I would watch them first with subtitles in my language, then with English subtitles, then without any subtitles at all. I collected songs. I wrote down lyrics, looking up every word I didn't know. I collected podcasts, listening to them on buses, while walking, falling asleep to the sound of conversations I was not a part of. My comprehension grew. My listening skills became sharp. I could follow complex movie plots, catch the jokes in sitcoms, understand the news reports. This felt like progress. It felt like I was building something. And I was. I was building a magnificent castle in my mind. It had towering walls of vocabulary, deep wells of grammar, great halls filled with the sounds of native speakers. It was impressive, but it had one fatal flaw. There was no door. I was inside this beautiful castle, alone. I had built it from the inside, and now I had no way to let anyone else in, and no way for me to step out. I was a fluent listener, trapped in a palace of silence. This is the great illusion, the painful trap of language learning. We believe that input listening and reading will magically transform into output, speaking and writing. But they are two different skills, using two different sets of muscles. Think of it like this. You can watch 1,000 hours of Olympic swimming. You can study the physics of the butterfly stroke, the biology of muscle movement, the strategy of pacing. You can understand it all perfectly, but if you are thrown into a pool, you will sink. Why? Because your mind knows, but your body has not practiced. Your lungs have not learned to control breath under pressure. Your arms have not built the muscle memory for the stroke. Your body does not know the feel of the water as a medium to push against. Speaking English is exactly the same. Your ears are trained. Your mind is trained. But your mouth, your tongue, your lungs, your vocal cords, they are untrained. They are like the body of someone who has never swum. They panic. They flail. They default to what is safe and familiar, silence, or the simple dog paddle of yes, no, thank you. Let's talk about this fear. Let's give it a name and look it directly in the face. It is not a simple fear of making a mistake. It is deeper. It is a fear of exposure. When you speak your native language, you are behind a shield. Your personality, your intelligence, your humor, your warmth, they are protected and expressed perfectly by the language you have mastered. When you switch to English, especially as a beginner, you feel like you are taking off that shield. You feel naked. You feel that the you that comes out in broken English is a lesser version of yourself, a simplified, clumsy, childlike version. You are afraid that people will see this version and think, this is who he is. This is her mind. And that is terrifying, because you know it's not true. Inside, you are an adult with complex thoughts, nuanced feelings, sharp wit. But the language coming out makes you sound like a shadow of that person. So, the fear says, better to stay silent. Better to let them think you are quiet, than to speak and let them think you are simple. This fear is a liar. It is a cruel, convincing liar. But it is only trying to protect you from the pain of being misunderstood. The problem is, in its attempt to protect you, it is suffocating you. It is keeping the real you locked in a dark room. The first key, the master key to this entire journey, is not a grammar book. It is not a pronunciation app. It is your mindset. You must stage a peaceful revolution inside your own head. You must dethrone the critical, perfectionist king who rules your thoughts about English. This king has one command: Be perfect or be silent. He is a tyrant. He has kept you in a state of fear for too long. You must replace him with a kind, patient, and encouraging teacher. This new voice says, "Welcome. It's okay to try. Every sound is progress. Every mistake is a lesson. I am proud of you for being here." How do you do this? You do it consciously. Every time you are about to practice, and you hear that old, critical voice, your accent is terrible. You'll never get this right. You must interrupt it. You must literally speak back to it, out loud if you can. Say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I am learning now. I am allowed to be imperfect." You must celebrate the wobble. You must, as strange as it sounds, learn to love the struggle, because the struggle is the sign of growth. A seed pushing through soil struggles. A butterfly leaving its cocoon struggles. The struggle is not a sign of failure. It is the necessary process of becoming something new. Now, let's get practical. Let's talk about the physical act of speaking. Your mouth is an instrument. For your whole life, it has played one beautiful, complex symphony, your native language. Every sound, every intonation, every rhythm is a note in that symphony, practiced and perfected over decades. Now, you are asking this instrument to play a completely different kind of music. The sheet music is unfamiliar. Some of the notes, the sounds, don't even exist in your old symphony. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw, your breath, they are confused. They try to play the new music using the old techniques, and it sounds wrong. This is why you feel stiffness. This is why you get tired quickly when speaking English. You are using muscles in new ways. They are weak. They need training. This is what I call mouth gym. And like any gym, you need to start with the basics. And you need to go regularly. Find a private space. Your bathroom is perfect. Stand in front of the mirror. We are not going to start with sentences. We are going to start with sounds. Is the R sound difficult for you? Let's look at it. In many languages, the R is created by tapping the tongue against the roof of the mouth. In English, it's often a softer, more continuous sound with the tongue pulled back. Don't even say a word. Just make the sound R R R R R R. Feel where your tongue is. Is it touching your teeth? Pull it back. Is it flat? Curl the tip up a little. Make the sound for 10 seconds. Feel the vibration. It will feel exaggerated. It will feel silly. Good. Embrace the silliness. Now, try the TH sound. In think, it's soft, with air passing between the tongue and teeth. Stick your tongue out slightly. Place it between your top and bottom teeth. And push air out. THHHHH. Don't make a voice, just the air. Now add your voice for this. THHHHHH dashes dot double quotes. Do this for 5 minutes a day. Just these sounds. You are not learning English now. You are training your mouth muscles. You are giving them new options. This is the most fundamental level of preparation. It is like a pianist doing finger exercises on a silent keyboard before playing a concerto. After sounds, we move to words. But not just any words. We start with the words you use every day. The words that are already in your mind, trying to get out. What are the things you need to say? Hello. Thank you. Excuse me. How much is this? I don't understand. Could you please repeat that? My name is. Pick one phrase a week. Just one. Let's take. I don't understand. Say it slowly to the mirror. I don't understand. Look at your mouth on the don't. The O sound. Look at it on understand. The un at the beginning, the and at the end. Now, say it 10 times in a row. Not fast. Slowly, deliberately, with clear mouth movements. Now, say it 20 times. Your mouth will get tired. This is the burn. This is the muscle growing. Now, change the intonation. Say it as a statement. I don't understand. Flat, calm. Say it as a confused question. I don't understand. Voice rising at the end. Say it as a frustrated statement. I don't understand. Emphasis on don't. You are not just learning a phrase. You are learning the music of the phrase. How it can bend and flex to convey different feelings. This is how you stop sounding like a robot and start sounding like a human being. This brings us to the golden key, repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill. It is the quiet, unglamorous, miraculous engine of learning. When you repeat something, you are not being stupid. You are being brilliant. You are carving a path. In your brain, there is a vast, tangled forest of neurons. Every time you think a thought in your native language, it runs down a wide, smooth, superhighway. It's easy. It's automatic. When you try to think and then speak a new thought in English, you are asking your brain to blaze a new trail through that dense forest. The first time, it's nearly impossible. You have to cut through vines, stumble over roots, get lost. It's exhausting. That is the feeling of searching for a word, of struggling with word order. But the second time you force yourself to think and say that same sentence, the path is slightly clearer. The 10th time, it's a visible trail. The 100th time, it's a dirt road. The 1000th time, it's a paved street. And one glorious day, it becomes another superhighway. The thought travels from your mind to your mouth without you even consciously thinking about it. That is fluency. Fluency is not the absence of an accent. Fluency is the absence of hesitation. And hesitation is burned away by the fire of repetition. So, you must create a daily ritual. It must be non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth. 5 minutes is enough. 10 minutes is brilliant. But it must be every single day. In this ritual, you will do your mouth gym with sounds. You will repeat your phrase of the week until it feels like a part of your body. And then, you will do what I call shadowing. This is the most powerful technique I know. Find a short clip of someone speaking English. It could be from this channel, from a movie, from a news report, someone whose voice you like. Listen to one sentence. Then, immediately after they finish, you say it. Try to copy everything. Their sound, their rhythm, the rise and fall of their voice, the pauses. Don't worry about meaning at first. Just be a parrot. Be an echo. This connects your listening brain directly to your speaking mouth. It bypasses the critical, translating part of your mind and builds a direct line. It is training your mouth to follow the music of English in real time. At first, you will lag behind. You will stumble. It doesn't matter. Just keep echoing. This practice alone, done consistently, will transform your speaking more than any textbook. Now, we must talk about confidence, because that is the treasure you are truly seeking. Confidence in speaking does not come from perfect grammar. It does not come from having a vast vocabulary. I have met people with perfect grammar and a huge vocabulary who are terrified to speak. I have met people who make many mistakes but speak with a radiant, infectious confidence that makes everyone want to listen to them. Why? Because confidence comes from a different place. It comes from self-acceptance. It comes from the decision to show up as you are, with what you have, right now. It is a choice. It is the choice to value communication over perfection. Every time you choose to speak, even if it's just one word, you are casting a vote for your confident self. Every time you stay silent out of fear, you are casting a vote for your fearful self. The identity that gets the most votes wins. You are building your identity, word by word. Start in the safest environments. Talk to yourself. Describe what you are doing as you cook. I am cutting the onion. The onion is white. It smells strong. Narrate your life in simple English. It feels ridiculous, but it works. It gets your brain and mouth used to producing English spontaneously, without an audience. Then, find one incredibly safe human, maybe a pet. Talk to your dog or cat in English. They are the most non-judgmental listeners in the world. Then, perhaps a very close, supportive friend or family member who is also learning. Agree to have a 2-minute English-only conversation once a week. Just 2 minutes. The goal is not to have a deep discussion. The goal is to survive the 2 minutes, to feel the fear and do it anyway. After that, you will feel a rush of empowerment. You did it. You crossed the line. That feeling is the brick. Collect those bricks. The magic, and I have seen this happen for myself and for hundreds of students, is that once you start collecting these small victories, a shift occurs. The language stops being a subject you study and starts becoming a tool you use. This was the turning point in my life. I had moved to a city for a very basic job. I was still poor, still invisible, but I was doing my daily practice, my mouth gym, my shadowing, my self-talk. One day, at work, a machine broke down. The manual was in English. My boss, who spoke no English, handed it to me in frustration. I took it. My old fear rose up. What if I can't? What if I misunderstand and break it more? But something else was there, too. A tiny, new feeling. A spark of I can try. I sat down with the manual, a dictionary, and the machine. I read slowly. I decoded the instructions. I saw the problem. I went to my boss and, with a heart pounding not just from fear, but from a new kind of excitement, I said, in my slow, careful English, I think, the problem is here. We need to tighten this cable. He looked at me, surprised. He let me try. I fixed it. It was a small thing, a broken machine in a small shop. But in that moment, everything changed. I was no longer the quiet boy who pointed. I was the person who could read the manual. I was the person who could solve the problem. English was no longer a wall. It was a bridge, and I had just walked across it, carrying something of value. That moment was the first crack of light in my grey world. It led to other opportunities. A better job where I had to occasionally speak to foreign suppliers. Every interaction was terrifying, but each one was also a brick in my confidence wall. I made my first friend who was a native English speaker. Our conversations were slow. I asked him to repeat things constantly. I apologized for my mistakes, and he said the most liberating words I had ever heard. "Don't apologize. I understand you perfectly. Your English is great." He didn't care about the mistakes. He cared about the conversation. He was interested in me. That friendship opened my world. Through English, I accessed books that changed my thinking. I watched documentaries that expanded my understanding of history and science. I could finally understand the lyrics to the songs I loved, and they meant so much more. The feeling of poverty, that scarcity of mind and spirit, began to melt away. It was replaced by an abundance of connection, of knowledge, of possibility. English didn't give me a new personality. It gave my own personality, my curious mind, my hopeful heart, a passport to the world. This is what I wish for you. Not just to order a coffee correctly, though that is a wonderful victory. I wish for you the feeling of sharing a joke and hearing someone laugh. I wish for you the feeling of explaining an idea from your culture and seeing someone's eyes light up with understanding. I wish for you the feeling of comfort in a conversation where you are thinking about the topic, not about the grammar. I wish for you the deep, quiet confidence of knowing that your voice, in all its unique accent and rhythm, has a right to be heard, that you have something to contribute. So, your journey starts now. Not when you finish this video, not tomorrow. Now, here is your first, gentle, powerful step. I want you to press pause, just for a moment. I want you to take a deep, slow breath in, and as you breathe out, I want you to say this one sentence. My journey begins today. Say it to the empty room. Say it to me. Say it to yourself. Listen to the sound of your own voice claiming its future. That is your first brick. Place it carefully. Tomorrow, you will take another brick. You will do 2 minutes of mouth gym. You will repeat one simple phrase 20 times. You will shadow one sentence from this video. You will do it again the next day, and the next. You will build your ritual. You will be kind to yourself on the hard days. You will celebrate yourself on the brave days. And you will not be alone. This channel, our English speaking and listening club, is your community. It is your daily dose of encouragement. It is your source for practice material, for shadowing clips, for phrases of the week, for the gentle reminders that you are capable and you are not alone in this. We are a club of people who are all building our bridges out of silence. So, if you are ready, truly ready, to change the story of your life, I invite you to join us officially. Hit that subscribe button. Click the bell icon. Let this channel be your guide and your companion. Every video you watch here is an invitation to practice, to speak, to build. Remember, the most beautiful bridges are built one brick at a time, by hands that once trembled. Your voice is that brick. Your courage is the mortar. Your consistent practice is the blueprint. I have seen the other side of this bridge. I am living there now. It is a place of color, connection, and freedom. And I am here, standing on this side with you, my hand outstretched, saying, "You can do this. I believe in you. Let's take the first step. Together, speak."